Let me start with something very simple, something I want you to reflect on for a moment. Think about last night. You turned off the lights, maybe reached for your phone one last time before bed, and as you looked at the screen, you might have noticed your eyes felt tired, dry, or slightly strained. Perhaps this morning when you opened your eyes, they didn't feel as refreshed as they used to, or it took a few moments for things to come into focus. Maybe bright light bothered you more than it once did. If any of that sounds familiar, then this conversation is for you. And I want you to stay with me for the next several minutes, because what you eat tonight can quietly influence how your eyes feel tomorrow morning. Most people never make this connection, and yet it's one of the simplest ways to support your vision over time. I want to make something very clear before we go any further. I'm not here to sell you a miracle or promise perfect vision overnight. This isn't about extreme diets, exotic supplements, or expensive treatments. I'm here to share something I notice repeatedly in my conversations with people who are concerned about their eyes and general health. Many of them assume that eye health is only about glasses, eye drops, or just getting older. But the reality is that your eyes are living tissue. They respond to what you feed your body, and especially what you eat before bed. When repair happens naturally during sleep, tonight's video is a calm conversation about 3 foods that support your eyes while you sleep, helping you wake up feeling a little clearer, a little less strained, and a little more comfortable than you did yesterday. Before we dive into the foods, I want to set expectations. This isn't about eating more, it's about eating smarter. And you don't need all 3 foods every night. Even choosing one consistently can make a meaningful difference over time. As we go through this, I'll help you notice where each food fits naturally into your routine in a way that feels realistic and sustainable. Now, let's talk about why nighttime matters. For your eyes, most people think eyes just rest while we sleep, but in reality they recover. During sleep, damaged cells are repaired, inflammation calms down, protective layers are rebuilt, and moisture balance resets. But this repair process relies on raw materials, nutrients from your diet. If those nutrients aren't available, repair is slower, and you may wake up with dry eyes, blurry focus, a heavy or gritty feeling, or increased sensitivity to light. This isn't always about age. Often it's simply a matter of nutrient timing and availability. The foods we'll discuss tonight help provide that gentle support while your body does the work it needs to do. The first food I want to discuss might surprise you. Kiwi. Yes, kiwi. The small green fruit many people associate with breakfast or a snack, but rarely with eye health. What makes kiwi so special is its combination of vitamin C, antioxidants, and natural compounds that reduce inflammation. Your eyes rely on tiny blood vessels to deliver nutrients and remove waste. And as we age, these vessels don't work as efficiently. Kiwi supports circulation in a subtle, gentle way, which helps your eyes repair overnight. I often speak with people who say, "My eyes feel tired even when I didn't strain at them." What they're describing is low-grade inflammation, and kiwi can help calm that without disrupting your sleep. Eating kiwi doesn't need to be complicated. One kiwi, about 1 to 2 hours before bed, is enough. You can eat it on its own or as a small dessert after dinner. There's no need to add sugar, blend it into a smoothie, or overthink it. The benefits are subtle but meaningful. Less dryness in the morning, slightly easier focus, and a general sense of relief in your eyes. I want to stress that these improvements aren't dramatic overnight miracles, but the kind of gentle progress that adds up over time. The second food is walnuts. As we age, our eyes often struggle with dryness and low-grade inflammation, and this is where walnuts quietly help. Walnuts are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and minerals that support nerve function. Your retina, the part of the eye responsible for vision, is largely made of fat, and when omega-3 levels drop, you may notice dry eyes, a burning sensation, irritation, or reduced night vision. Eating a few walnuts in the evening can help replenish these essential nutrients and support repair while you sleep. Think about this. You spend your day using screens, moving from one task to another. Your eyes feel okay at first, but by evening they're tired and dry. That's not just screen time catching up. It's inflammation building slowly. Walnuts help calm that process overnight. The best part is how simple it can be. You don't need a handful the size of your palm. Just 3 or 4 walnuts after dinner, chewed slowly, are enough to start supporting eye health. No honey, no sugar coating. Just plain, simple walnuts. Over time, this can lead to less dryness, less irritation, and better comfort in the morning. Again, these changes are subtle, steady, and sustainable. At this point, you might be thinking about timing, combinations, and whether you really need all these foods. That's a natural thought. You don't need perfection, even starting with one: kiwi or walnuts. And practicing consistency will gradually support your eyes. I've seen people make small adjustments and notice that their mornings feel a little easier, their eyes a little lighter. That's what really matters. As we move toward the third food, I want you to reflect on something important. Eye health isn't about chasing immediate results. It's about gentle, consistent habits. Your eyes are resilient, and they respond remarkably well to supportive changes. Even later in life, what we're doing here is giving them the building blocks they need, while respecting your lifestyle, your comfort, and your natural rhythms. The third food, which we will cover in the next part, is one that people often get wrong. Either they eat it at the wrong time or in the wrong form. When used correctly, it can support night vision, morning clarity, and long-term protection. It's also a food that connects the dots between diet and lifestyle in a very tangible way, which is why it's best discussed after we've laid the foundation with kiwi and walnuts. Before we finish this part, I want to give you a simple reflection. Think about tonight. You have the choice to support your eyes in a very small but meaningful way. One kiwi, a few walnuts, or a combination. That's all it takes. And the more consistently you do it, the more your eyes will respond over time. Small changes, repeated calmly, create the kind of progress that feels natural and sustainable. In part 2, we'll dive into the third food in detail, discuss exactly how to combine these foods naturally, and talk about a few habits that quietly undermine eye health at night. By the end of that part, you'll have a complete, realistic, and actionable plan to wake up feeling clearer and more comfortable in your eyes, without stress, hype, or complicated routines. For now, remember this: your eyes are listening to what you eat, especially before sleep. They are resilient and they respond to gentle support. Even subtle choices tonight can help tomorrow morning feel a little better, a little lighter, and a little more comfortable. Let's continue from where we left off. We've already talked about kiwi and walnuts, two foods that quietly support your eyes while you sleep. The third food, and perhaps the one most people misunderstand, is carrots. You've probably heard for years that carrots are good for your eyes. Many of us grew up with that advice, but most people don't understand the details, and that's why it often feels like eating carrots didn't work. The key is not just the food itself, but how and when you eat it. Carrots are rich in beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A. Vitamin A is essential for night vision, low-light adaptation, maintaining the surface of your eyes, and protecting the cornea. As we age, the conversion from beta-carotene to vitamin A becomes less efficient, which is why some people notice that night vision becomes less sharp. Glare from headlights is uncomfortable, or adjusting to darkness feels slower. These changes aren't sudden or dramatic. They are gradual, almost imperceptible, which is why you may not realize your nutrition plays a role. Here's the part most people miss. Beta-carotene is fat-soluble. That means if you eat carrots alone, your body absorbs very little. This is why people often think, "I've been eating carrots for years, and my vision hasn't improved." It's not the carrots that are the problem. It's the combination and timing to truly support your eyes. Eat carrots with a small amount of healthy fat. This could be a drizzle of olive oil, a few walnuts, or a bit of avocado. Lightly cooking carrots also improves absorption and makes them gentler on the digestion at night. Now, let's talk about how this feels in real life. Imagine a calm evening routine. You've had your dinner, perhaps a few vegetables on your plate, maybe a small serving of protein. A small side of cooked carrots, lightly sautéed or steamed, provides nutrients your eyes will use overnight. Pair them with a few walnuts or a little olive oil, and you've created a simple, realistic combination that enhances absorption and repair. You're not doing anything extreme, and yet over time, your eyes begin to respond. You may notice less dryness when you wake up, smoother focus, and reduced sensitivity to morning light. These are subtle improvements, but they're meaningful, and they compound when practiced consistently. At this point, it's worth acknowledging that building a new routine can feel a little intimidating. You might be thinking, Do I really need all three foods every night? The answer is no. Start with one. Choose the food that feels easiest to integrate tonight. Maybe it's a kiwi as a light dessert, a few walnuts after dinner, or a small serving of cooked carrots. You don't need to change everything at once. The key is gentle consistency. Small steps, repeated calmly, are more effective than any dramatic overnight change. Along with the food, there are a few habits that quietly affect eye health overnight and often go unnoticed. The first is screen time right before bed. Most of us end the day scrolling on our phones, catching up on emails, or watching a show. What happens when we do this is our blink rate drops, our eyes dry out, and the natural repair process during sleep is slightly delayed. You don't need to eliminate screens entirely, but adjusting brightness, increasing text size, or consciously blinking more can make a subtle difference. These small adjustments create an environment where the nutrients you've eaten can work more effectively. Another common factor is sleeping in dry air. If you use air conditioning or a heater at night, your eyes can become dehydrated without you realizing it. A small humidifier, or even keeping a little water nearby for overall hydration, can help maintain moisture balance while you sleep. Speaking of hydration, mild dehydration also affects tear production. You don't need to drink a lot at night, but going to bed slightly dehydrated can reduce your body's ability to repair and hydrate your eyes overnight. It's important to remember that these changes, both the foods and small adjustments in habits, are cumulative. You might not notice dramatic results the next morning, and that's okay. Your body responds gradually to consistent, gentle support. Think of your eyes like a calm river. When you provide them the right nutrients and protect them from small irritations, they flow smoothly and stay clear. If you neglect them, small irritants accumulate, and the river becomes muddier over time. The subtle, consistent approach wins every time. I also want to take a moment to reassure you. Eye health isn't about perfection or eliminating every little stressor in your life. It's about giving your body what it needs, minimizing preventable strain, and noticing gradual improvements. Your eyes are resilient, and they respond remarkably well to small, thoughtful adjustments. The goal isn't to achieve a flawless vision overnight. It's to feel lighter, more comfortable, and less strained each morning. That perspective changes the way you approach your daily and evening routines. Let's talk briefly about practical implementation. For simplicity, I suggest 3 approaches that fit naturally into life. First, the minimal effort evening. Include cooked vegetables such as carrots during dinner, have 3 to 4 walnuts, and finish with 1 kiwi as a light dessert. Second, the light evening snack. If dinner was lighter or you're still hungry a few hours later, have a small serving of kiwi and a few walnuts. Third, just start with 1 change tonight. Even 1 food eaten consistently makes a difference over time. The goal isn't perfection. It's steady, calm progress. It's also helpful to check in with yourself in the morning. Notice how your eyes feel when you wake up. Are they less dry? Is there less heaviness or discomfort? Are you more comfortable with light? These subtle observations reinforce the connection between your choices and your body's response. Most people never consciously notice these small improvements, but when you do, it encourages continued practice without stress. Before we wrap up this part, I want to emphasize the broader lesson. Eye health is not about drastic interventions, expensive supplements, or miracle cures. It's about subtle, sustainable habits and gentle nourishment. The 3 foods we've discussed, kiwi, walnuts, and carrots, are simple, affordable, and easy to integrate into life. They provide your eyes with nutrients that are essential for repair, moisture balance, and night vision, paired with small adjustments to screen time, humidity, and hydration. They create a supportive environment for your eyes to recover naturally overnight. In the final part, we will tie everything together. We'll discuss how to combine these foods consistently, introduce a few more nighttime habits that further protect your vision, and build a calm, long-term approach to eye health that doesn't feel like a burden. By the end of the next part, you'll have a complete practical routine that you can follow starting tonight to wake up with eyes that feel clearer, more comfortable, and less strained. For now, reflect on this. Even subtle changes made consistently have a real impact. Your eyes respond to gentle, thoughtful support. You don't need to overhaul your life, and you don't need to stress about perfect routines. Start tonight with 1 or 2 small changes and notice how your eyes feel in the morning. That's the beginning of building long-term eye comfort and health. Step by step, quietly, and effectively. Now that we've discussed kiwi, walnuts, and carrots, let's focus on how to bring all three together in a realistic, easy-to-follow routine. This isn't about following strict rules or eating everything at once. It's about creating a calm, sustainable habit that quietly supports your eyes night after night. Start by picking what fits naturally into your evening. For example, you might include cooked carrots during dinner, add a few walnuts as a light snack, and finish with a kiwi dessert. If some nights you only manage 1 or 2 of these foods, that's perfectly fine. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistent support over time. Combining these foods works best when you think of them as part of a gentle rhythm. Kiwi provides antioxidants and vitamin C that reduce inflammation and promote circulation. Walnuts deliver omega-3s that nourish your retina and maintain moisture balance. Carrots, with their beta-carotene, help with night vision and overall eye protection. Together, they create a foundation your eyes can use during sleep, even spacing them across your evening. A few walnuts after dinner, a small serving of carrots, and kiwi as dessert is enough to notice subtle improvement. The key is consistency and mindfulness, not quantity. Beyond food, nighttime habits play a crucial role in eye recovery. One of the most overlooked factors is exposure to artificial light, especially blue light from phones, tablets, and TVs. Blue light slows down melatonin production, which can slightly interfere with your body's repair processes. You don't need to eliminate screens entirely, but try dimming lights, lowering brightness, or using night mode on devices. Even small adjustments make your eyes more receptive to the nutrients you provide through your evening foods. Another subtle but important habit is maintaining proper hydration. Mild dehydration reduces tear production and can leave your eyes dry and uncomfortable in the morning. You don't need to drink excessive amounts before bed, but ensuring that you're well hydrated throughout the day sets the stage for optimal overnight recovery. Alongside hydration, the environment matters. Sleeping in very dry air can exacerbate dryness. So, consider using a humidifier if necessary, or keeping the bedroom slightly more humid than usual. These small environmental tweaks work in harmony with your nutrition to support overall eye comfort. It's also important to pace yourself mentally. If you try to overhaul your routine in one evening, you risk burnout. Instead, introduce changes gradually. Maybe start with walnuts tonight, add kiwi in a few days, and introduce carrots when it's convenient. As you get comfortable, these foods naturally become part of your evening rhythm, and the results accumulate. Over time, you'll notice that your mornings feel different. Less irritation, easier focus, and a sense of comfort that becomes familiar. Now, let's touch on how to recognize progress. Most people notice changes first in subtle ways. Eyes feel less gritty, focus is easier in low light, and bright light is less bothersome. These improvements might feel small, but they are signs that your body is responding. Pay attention to how you feel each morning. Reflecting on these subtle changes reinforces the connection between your choices and your body's response, which encourages continued practice without stress. Remember, gentle progress over weeks and months is far more effective and sustainable than chasing dramatic overnight results. I also want to discuss the importance of mindset when it comes to eye health. Your eyes are resilient, but they respond best to supportive care, not stress or fear. Viewing nutrition and nighttime habits as tools rather than obligations creates a sense of calm and empowerment. This approach allows you to enjoy the process rather than feeling pressured, which improves adherence and long-term results. Over time, small adjustments compound into noticeable improvements in comfort and function, all without overwhelming your daily life. In addition to the 3 foods, there are a few other simple adjustments that further enhance eye comfort. Limiting late-night alcohol intake, for example, helps maintain moisture balance and prevents temporary dehydration that can exacerbate dryness. Gentle eye exercises or conscious blinking before bed can also reduce strain and help circulate fluids within the eye. These are not strict requirements, they are small enhancements that complement the main nutritional strategy. The idea is to layer supportive habits in a calm, realistic way that feels natural rather than forced. It's also worth emphasizing that these strategies are preventative and supportive, They don't replace necessary medical care. If you have existing eye conditions or notice sudden changes in vision, it's essential to consult a qualified healthcare professional. What we're discussing is a gentle, practical approach to supporting healthy eyes in daily life. The kind of approach that most people overlook until discomfort accumulates. By adopting these habits now, you're giving your eyes the tools they need to stay comfortable and functional for years to come. Finally, let's bring everything together into a simple, repeatable evening routine. Start with the food. Include 1 to 2 of the 3 foods that feel easiest for you. Kiwi, walnuts, or cooked carrots. Space them naturally throughout your evening. Pair these with gentle environmental adjustments. Reduce blue light exposure, maintain proper hydration, and create a slightly more humid sleeping environment if needed. Introduce these steps gradually, and notice subtle improvements in the morning. Over time, these small, thoughtful actions build into a calm and sustainable pattern that enhances eye comfort naturally. As you reflect on this, I want to leave you with one final thought. Eye health, like overall health, is not about extremes or perfection. It's about gentle, consistent care, small, daily choices. Eating supportive foods, adjusting minor environmental factors, paying attention to hydration, accumulate into real improvements over time. Your eyes are resilient, and they respond beautifully to calm, thoughtful support. There's no rush, no pressure, just a steady path to waking up with eyes that feel clearer, lighter, and more comfortable. In conclusion, tonight, when you sit down to eat or prepare for bed, remember that your eyes are quietly listening to what you feed your body. Even subtle choices can make a meaningful difference. Start small, stay consistent, and be mindful. Over weeks and months, you'll notice gradual improvements that feel natural and reassuring. By combining kiwi, walnuts, and carrots with gentle lifestyle adjustments, you're creating a calm, sustainable approach to eye health. The kind that builds trust, comfort, and long-term resilience without stress or extreme effort. Your eyes deserve this thoughtful, patient care, and you deserve the confidence that comes from knowing you are taking steps to protect and support them in the simplest, most effective way.